Hey Mace, you want an apple pie? You gonna have an apple pie with us? They're good. Did you have fun? Did you have fun? Hello everyone, Peppermint here. I have some friends with me today and they're going to be making some apple pies. And we have Grandma Unicorn and we have Little Zoe. So go ahead.
Okay, so Little Zoe has already washed the apples. We've got 4 like medium-sized apples. We're gonna peel and cut those up and put the apples in the pot. And then we got some things we need to add to it. We'll cook that for like 5 to 7 minutes or until the apples get done. And then we're gonna add a little bit of, it's supposed to be cornstarch, but we didn't have that, but it's a thickening agent, so you're gonna use a little bit of flour. So we're just gonna use a little bit of flour from our dough bowl that we're gonna make the actual pie crust with. So you're gonna add a tablespoon of cornstarch or flour to it was a teaspoon of cornstarch and flour to a tablespoon of water. So anyway, I'll give you more exact measurements when we get there. I'll have to look and make sure. But all we're going to do right now is just peel the apples and cut them up and put them in the pot for Little Zoe to cook. She's actually going to do this. She's learning how to cook, so she's actually going to be doing the cooking, and she's going to roll out the pie crust. I keep saying dumplings because she also makes dumplings and biscuits. The dough that we're making is actually the biscuit dough. Usually we make these when we have leftover biscuit dough, but we're doing a taste test. We're going to fry them on the stove and put them in the oven because I know some people don't like to eat a lot of fried foods. So we've cut that up, and now we're just going to, peeled it, and now we're just going to cut it up. You don't have to be exact, you're just cutting it off of the core. It's going to cook down and get all mushy anyway. Flavor, but not putting that juice in there. So you want to thicken the juice up. Alright, she's going to put that on the stove. to use fresh apples and make your own filling, you can use the apple pie filling. But I typically use the apples because it seems like there's always 3 or 4 apples left over in the bag that nobody's eating, so we just use those up. We very seldom go out to buy apples just to make apple pies. I always have some kind of fruit, like for wanting, I've got some frozen peaches in the freezer and some frozen strawberries too, so I could always make a strawberry pie or a peach pie if I had dough that I wanted to use up. How's it going over there, Lil Zoe? Good? Are the apples soft?
Yeah. I already added the stuff.
I know, that's why I was asking. Alright, so you can, is it getting thick?
Slowly but surely.
Alright, you're going to stir that for a couple of minutes, then you can turn the stove off and put the apple pie filling on the back burner. It'll continue to thicken while we make the pie crust. So Little Zoe is going to make the dough. We're going to make it like biscuits, and then we're going to add some extra flour. Now, unfortunately, this part we learned from an older lady, and we don't measure anything. So we put about a little bit more. The size of an egg, the Crisco. You make a hole, a bird's nest is what she calls it. You make it tight, pack it down really tight, and then you put your Crisco down in there.
That looks about right.
Yeah.
We got 2 eggs. We need 2 eggs.
Shake up the buttermilk. This is, I guess this is whole. It don't say. So I'm assuming it's whole milk.
They had the 1%, but I didn't know what you wanted.
For stuff like this, it's better to have the whole. Alright, so we shook up the buttermilk really good. And we're going to pour a little bit in there.
Oh, and here comes Macy, you making food.
And she's just going to squish that buttermilk and the butter together. And
Crisco.
then,
It's Crisco, butter flavored.
Crisco, it's butter flavored Crisco. We like the butter flavor because it gives biscuits a good buttery taste. But don't do that until you get all your Crisco mixed.
I got it mashed.
She's going to mash the Crisco into the buttermilk until it gets softer and in pieces. And then she's going to slowly go around and get a little bit of flour and put it in there and mix that in. Now the thing about biscuits, and this is where I used to mess up, my first biscuits I ever tried to make were hockey pucks. So, and I gave up making biscuits that day. I didn't try it again. But we were watching a lady online. Her name's Brenda Gant. If you want to look her up, she has all kinds of good stuff. She's where we got the fried apple pies from. And she's where we got the biscuits from. She's on Facebook and Instagram, and it is Cooking with Brenda Gant, and it's got 2 T's on it. But you don't want to play with the dough too much. That's what makes them tough. So you got to work quickly.
I'm working quickly.
You got to work quickly to mix it up. And then you're going to put it on a floured surface. I don't want to mess her countertops up, so we put it on parchment paper. We have a chopping block at home, and we just do it on it.
It's not exactly a block. It's more like an island, a movable island.
Can you roll on that, or is that too? You can't roll on that? Okay. You don't want to roll on that.
Okay, I'll take it back then.
It was then awkward for her, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Set that for 425. Look on the bake one.
Bake. 425.
Okay. So we're gonna do. I was gonna do the 3 different kinds. I was going to do the fried ones that you do on the stove, and I was gonna do, and then we're gonna do bake because not everybody wants all that grease. Well, I was also going to do
Air fryer.
the air fryer one, but the parts to that are in my utility room and it's a mess, so I can't get in there to get it. So maybe we'll do that one later. But we're going to do a taste test when this is over to see which one tastes better, because this one is fried in oil, so it's going to have a different flavor to it than the one you put in the oven. The oven, we're going to baste it with butter, but we're going to put a powdered sugar glaze on both of them when they cool. I'm having a Pampered Chef party. I love Pampered Chef. I'm actually thinking about being a consultant, so you may see more of me. But this gadget is one that you can use. It cuts the dough, and after you get, we're going to cut 2 pieces of dough and put the filling in, and we'll put a water seal on it, and then we'll use this to press down on it. And that will seal it to where it's a round pie. If you decide you want some Pampered Chef, they've made this differently now. Now I think it's square or rectangle, to where you can cut the crust off bread and not waste any. But mine's old school. This one's from the 90s. But if I decide to sell Pampered Chef, I'll be showing more items. But for now, if you want to buy it, I'm having a party until Friday, which is the 18th, I think. And you can buy whatever you want. I will send, or I have already sent, Peppermint the link to that party. So just make a comment on the video and she will send that link to you if you want to purchase something or just look around. Or if you want to join my party, we play games and have a lot of fun, and she gives out prizes. So you're welcome to join us. Just let her know and she will send you the link and you can join our party. All you have to do is press the join button, I think, on that link. Huh? So now we've rolled out what we're going to roll out. I'm doing some without the Pampered Chef, so you can just see how that is too. Because you probably don't have one. So you can do it, just fold it over in half and cut it with a knife and mash it with the fork. So you need a knife and a fork. and we're just going to put the filling in. It got nice and thick. You don't want to put a lot because you don't need a lot in these, but we're going to use, for this, we're going to use 2 pie crusts and mash them together. And we're just going to do this till we run out of either pie crust or apples. Alright, you put this one on, I need water, sorry.
How
First
much
to seal.
in a bowl or something?
A cup's fine.
Okay.
I'm just going to dip a finger in it.
Like a
The
coffee
water works like glue with the flour.
You want hot water or?
It don't matter. Whatever comes out of the tap, just don't burn me to death.
It's actually room temperature.
Okay. Alright. So, you're gonna, I got the pie filling too close to the edge, but you're gonna, the water works like a glue and it seals it so none of your juices come out from your pie. So we're going to lay that one on top, and the Pampered Chef ones, we're going to use this. Put that on there, and then you mash down, and it crimps your little pie. So we're going to put that right here. Cook. Now this one, we're going to do the old way. So you're going to put your pie filling on here. And honestly, I make the pie filling and I never know if I'm making too much or not enough. So, alright, so that works. So we're going to put some water. If you don't put the water on here, then all your pie filling will come out when you deep fry it. Now baking, I don't know if that does that, but it does when you're frying it. So we're just going to cut around to make it a little prettier. And you can seal these any way you want. A fork works great, so I usually use it. And then you're going to take a fork, you're going to dip it in your flour so it don't stick. And you're just going to put little crimps in it. So you can make them prettier too with different tools you might have in your house. But we're going to do a little bit each way. We're putting these in the oven at 425. The oven's already preheated. I poked a little bit in the top just to let air escape because it's going to steam some. But also I wanted those to show they were being baked. because the next ones we make, we're going to put them in the frying pan with oil. And they can't have any holes. So anyway, okay, so the ones that were in the oven are still in the oven, and I did forget something. You need to put butter on the top of them so they'll brown. And I forgot to tell you that earlier, so we did that, and they should be fine. They should be coming out in about 2 minutes. In the meantime, we're going to fry some. Out. They might could have cooked a minute or two longer, but I think they're going to be, for our purposes, I think they're going to be fine. So we're going to let them sit right there. When the baked ones and the fried ones cool down a little bit, we're going to make a glaze. Look on there, but I think this is 1.5 cups of powdered sugar. And then we're going to put 4 tablespoons of milk in it, and we're going to mush it around, and that will make our glaze to go on top of these. But you can't put the glaze on top of hot pies, so we're going to let them cool a little bit before we glaze them. So 1.5 cups of powdered sugar, 4 tablespoons of milk, and mush it around. And you're going to just leave it in this bag and cut off a tip, and you can just squeeze it on your pies. I mean, if you want to make it in a bowl and use something to drizzle, you can. I just found it's much easier to do that. And look, I'm wearing the flour from making the pies. I'm so sorry. I should have worn an apron. The fried apple pies are ready. We drained them and we placed them on the same baking dish, because for our taste test, we don't want the guys and, oops, we don't want everybody to know which one's which. I made a mess. That's me. Give me a paper towel or something, I'll wipe it up. So we don't want everybody to know which ones they're tasting of them. I'm pretty sure you'll be able to tell, because baked just does not have the same taste as fried dough, but it's really good, either one. So now we've sealed this up, and all we're going to do is squish it around till we get our glaze. That's 1.5 cups of powdered sugar and 1 tablespoon of milk. Now, if you get down and you start mixing it up and it's still not mixing up good, you can add a little more milk, but you don't want to add too much, because then it makes it runny. And we're not going to put this on just yet, because everything's still hot. We're going to give it a little bit. I'm going to work on mixing this up, and we'll be back with you in a few minutes to put it on the pies. And we'll be ready to eat them. So, I ended up putting 4 tablespoons of milk in this, and it's still kind of stiff. So I'm just going to spread it out kind of like icing, and then we're going to eat. We're going to have dessert before our supper.
Okay, one's fried and one's baked. Which is which?
Which is which? So I thought you said the one
Take
that
a
had
bite.
powdered sugar on.
Huh?
I thought you said they had powdered sugar on.
Well, I made a glaze.
It's a glaze.
Sugar.
That's pretty good, all right.
I'm gonna leave we don't eat here. Y'all can have them for breakfast in the morning.
I'll never make it to breakfast.
They're homemade. Made from scratch.
They taste about the same except for this one has got a little bit harder crust. So I'm gonna say that one's fried.
You would be right.
That was fried, that was big.